I am 39 years old, and I need to tell you something about war dogs that nobody talks about. They don't give them medals when they die. They don't play taps. They just bag them up and send them home in a kennel. Rex was a Belgian Malinois, 80 pounds of muscle, teeth, and loyalty. We worked together for 6 years in Afghanistan, 217 missions. He saved my life 4 times. I couldn't save him once. People thank me for my service. They don't understand. I am not a hero. Heroes protect their partners. I watched mine get blown apart 12 years ago, and I've been trying to figure out how to live with that ever since. His full name was Rex K-458, born at Lackland Air Force Base in Texas, 2007. But to me, he was just Rex, my partner, my brother. We met when I was 21 years old, fresh out of K-9 handler school. They paired us based on temperament. Rex was intense, focused, protective. So was I. We trained together for 8 months before our first deployment. By the time we got to Helmand Province in 2009, we moved like one unit. Rex was an explosives detection dog. His job was to find IEDs before they found us. My job was to read his behavior, trust his nose, and keep him safe. He was so damn good at his job. His detection rate was 96%. That is not just a number. That is lives. Marines who made it home because Rex found the bomb first. It was March 14th, 2013. I remember because it was my little sister's birthday back home. We were on patrol in Sangin District. Route clearance mission. Checking a road before a convoy could use it. The sun was brutal that day. Temperature hit 108 degrees. Rex had been working for 3 hours straight. I could see he was getting tired, but he never quit. Never. We were about 4 clicks into the route when Rex alerted. Saturday down. That was his trained response when he detected explosives. I stopped the patrol, marked the spot. Rex had found something. I should have pulled him back right then, but I didn't. I wanted to confirm the find, get a closer look before calling an EOD. It was my decision, my call. I gave Rex the search command again. He moved forward, nose to the ground, working the scent cone. He was 3 feet ahead of me when it happened. The blast threw me backwards 15 feet. I don't remember the sound, just the pressure wave, the ringing in my ears, the dust cloud. When I could see again, Rex was on the ground. He'd triggered a secondary device, an anti-personnel mine designed to kill whoever came to check the IED. I crawled to him. My ears were bleeding. Couldn't hear anything, but I could see him trying to stand, trying to get to me. Even dying, he was trying to protect me. I held him. His blood was all over my uniform. He looked at me with those brown eyes, the same eyes that had watched my back for 6 years, the same eyes that had trusted me completely. He died in my arms 40 seconds later. When the medevac finally came, they didn't have room for Rex's body. Had to leave him there with EOD. They put him in a body bag designed for equipment. Not even a flag. I sat in that helicopter covered in his blood, staring at my empty hands, and I couldn't stop thinking. I sent him forward. I gave the command. I killed my partner. Here is what they don't tell you about losing a military working dog. Everyone says the same thing. It is just a dog. Just a dog. That is the biggest lie I've lived with for 12 years. Rex wasn't just a dog. He was my partner. The only living thing in that desert I could trust completely. He didn't care about politics or strategy or why we were there. He just cared about the mission and keeping me alive. I came home from Afghanistan in 2014, 26 years old. Honorably discharged, the Marines gave me Rex's collar and a certificate thanking me for my service. Like that was supposed to make it okay. I tried to be normal. Got a job doing corporate security. Dated, smiled when people asked about my deployment. But inside, I was empty. The worst part wasn't the nightmares, though I had plenty of those. Same dream every night for years. I am back on that road, Rex alerts. But this time I don't send him forward, I pull him back. And we both make it home. The worst part was the guilt. I survived because Rex died. That is the truth nobody wants to hear. The mine was an anti-personnel device. It was designed to kill people, not dogs. If I'd been the one checking that secondary device, I'd be dead. Rex saved my life by dying first. And I've spent 12 years trying to justify why I deserved to live when he didn't. I tried therapy at the VA Saturday in a room with a counselor who'd never served. She asked me to rate my pain on a scale of 1 to 10. Asked me about coping strategies. Prescribed me pills for anxiety and depression. I took them for 6 months. They made me numb. But numb isn't the same as healed. The thing about losing a K-9 partner that civilians don't understand is this. You don't just lose a dog, you lose your purpose, your mission. The one thing that made sense in a world of chaos. For 6 years, my job was simple. Keep Rex safe and let him keep the Marines safe. I was good at that job. I had a 96% success rate. But when it mattered most, I failed. I went to Rex's memorial at Lackland. They have a monument there for fallen military working dogs. His name is on a plaque with 300 others. Rex K458, born 2007, died 2013. Killed in action, Afghanistan. 6 years of service reduced to 2 lines and some numbers. I stood there staring at his name, and all I could think was he trusted me. He sat when I told him to sit, searched when I told him to search. And when I told him to move forward into that kill zone, he did it without hesitation. Because he trusted me, and I got him killed. The last 12 years have been a series of trying to outrun what happened on that road. I got married when I was 29. Sarah was patient with me. She knew I had PTSD. She knew about Rex, but she didn't understand the weight of it. How could she? I'd wake up at 3 a.m. drenched in sweat, hyperventilating, seeing Rex's eyes, feeling his blood on my hands. Sarah would try to comfort me, but I couldn't let her in. Because if I talked about it, if I really talked about it, I'd have to admit the truth. I killed my partner. We lasted 3 years. She left when I was 32, said I was emotionally unavailable, said she felt like she was living with a ghost. She was right. I threw myself into work, built a successful career in private security, made good money, bought a house. From the outside, I looked fine, successful veteran, well-adjusted, moving forward. But I wasn't moving forward. I was running. Every March 14th, I'd call in sick, lock myself in my house, drink until I couldn't think anymore. The anniversary of Rex's death, my sister's birthday, the worst day of my life. My family stopped calling. My sister would send birthday invitations. I wouldn't go. My mom would ask me to visit for holidays. I'd make excuses. Because being around normal people living normal lives made me feel like a fraud. How could I sit at a dinner table and laugh and eat and pretend everything was fine when Rex was dead because of me? I adopted a rescue dog when I was 33. A Belgian Malinois named Apollo. Thought maybe it would help. Give me purpose again. A chance to be a good handler to a dog that needed me. It lasted 2 months. Every time I looked at Apollo, I saw Rex. Same breed, same intensity. And the guilt would hit me so hard I couldn't breathe. I had to rehome him. Told the rescue I wasn't ready. The truth was, I didn't deserve another dog. I couldn't protect the first one. Why would I deserve a second chance? The good days were the worst. Days when I'd forget, when I'd be laughing at something, enjoying a moment, feeling almost human. And then it would hit me like a mortar round. You are happy, you are alive. And Rex is dead. How dare you be happy when your partner is dead because of you? I missed my dad's funeral when I was 35. He died of a heart attack. I was supposed to give the eulogy. I couldn't do it. Couldn't stand in front of people and talk about loss and grief and what my dad meant to me, because the person I really wanted to eulogize had been dead for 9 years, and nobody would understand why a dog's death hurt more than my father's. My brother hasn't spoken to me since. I don't blame him. I kept Rex's collar in my truck for 8 years, would touch it sometimes when I was driving, like a talisman, like if I held onto it hard enough, I could bring him back, change what happened, make different choices. But you can't change the past. You can only live with it. And for 12 years, I didn't know how. Everything changed last year when I was 38. I was at a hardware store buying supplies for a security installation. Saw a guy in the parking lot with a military working dog vest on his backpack. K9 handler patch. I don't know what made me approach him. 12 years of avoiding anyone who might make me talk about Afghanistan, but something pulled me over. His name was James, 34 years old. Army had worked with a German shepherd named Chaos in Iraq. Chaos had died from heat stroke in 2011, 14 years ago for him. We sat in his truck for 3 hours, just talking. First time I'd talked to another K9 handler since I got out. I told him everything. The mission, the IED, the secondary device, sending Rex forward, watching him die. The 12 years of guilt. And James said something that broke me open. You think Rex would want this? You think he'd want you to spend the rest of your life hating yourself for a decision you made trying to keep your Marines safe? I didn't have an answer. He told me about a program. Mission K9 Rescue. Veterans who work to rehabilitate and place retired military working dogs. He'd been volunteering there for 5 years. Said it saved his life. Said maybe I should check it out. I almost didn't go. Almost convinced myself I didn't deserve to be around military dogs again. that I'd failed Rex and didn't get a second chance. But something James said stuck with me. Chaos didn't die so I could spend my life in a bottle. He died doing his job, protecting his handler, protecting his Marines. That is what they're trained for. That is what they live for. And the best way I can honor him is to keep serving, keep protecting. I started volunteering at Mission K9 3 months ago. The first dog I worked with was a 10-year-old Belgian Malinois named Titan. Retired explosives detection dog from Afghanistan. Had PTSD from combat. Aggressive, couldn't be placed with a civilian family. I spent 6 weeks working with him. Gentle training, patience, building trust. And slowly he came around, started to relax, started to trust again. When Titan got adopted by a veteran last month, I cried for the first time in 12 years. Not because I was sad, because I finally understood surviving isn't a sin. Surviving is a responsibility. Rex didn't sacrifice himself so I could spend the rest of my life drowning in guilt. He did his job, he protected his Marines, and he died doing what military working dogs are trained to do, put themselves between their handlers and danger. I called my sister 2 weeks ago, first time we'd spoken in 4 years. Told her I was sorry for missing her birthdays, sorry for disappearing. She cried, said she'd been waiting for me to come back, said she never gave up on me. I am not healed, I still have nightmares. Still feel the weight of Rex's collar in my hand. Still think about that day in Sangin. Probably always will. But I am not running anymore. I am 39 years old. Rex died when he was 6. That means I've lived 33 more years than he got. And for the first time, instead of feeling guilty about that, I feel responsible to honor his memory. To help other military working dogs to be present for the people I love. To live a life that would make him proud. I am telling you this story because there is something you need to understand. You think you have time. You think the people you love will always be there. You think you can wait to tell them what they mean to you, to show up for them, to be present. You don't. Rex was 6 years old when he died. 6 years, he should have had another 8, should have retired, should have lived out his days chasing tennis balls and sleeping in the sun. He didn't get that. I've lived 39 years, and I wasted 12 of them being angry that I survived. That is 12 years I'll never get back. 12 years of suffering that honored nobody. Don't make my mistake. Don't wait for tragedy to teach you what matters. Don't waste years carrying guilt over things you can't control. Life is fragile, random, unfair. The best souls leave too soon. There is no justice to it. No meaning you can extract. Just chaos and 3 feet of Afghan dirt between life and death. But here is what I've learned. You can't control who lives and who dies. You can only control what you do with the time you are given. Rex has been gone for 12 years. But I carry him with me every single day, in the choices I make, in the dogs I help rehabilitate, in the way I show up for my family now. When I volunteer at Mission K9, I meet veterans who are exactly where I was, broken, guilty, convinced they don't deserve happiness because their partner didn't make it home. And I tell them the same thing James told me. Your dog didn't die so you could suffer. They died protecting you. Honoring that sacrifice means living, really living. You don't need to lose a military working dog to understand what I am saying. You just need to understand that time is limited, that the people and animals you love won't always be here, that every moment you waste is a moment you'll never get back. I am 39 years old. If I am lucky, maybe 40 more years. And when I die, I want to believe that somewhere, somehow, Rex knows I didn't waste the life he gave me. Don't wait. Don't postpone. Don't tell yourself you'll make that call tomorrow. Visit next month. Say what you need to say eventually. Do it now, because someday, without warning, time runs out, and all you'll have left is regret. If this story means something to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Someone who is carrying guilt they don't deserve. Someone who needs permission to live again. Comment below and tell me, what are you going to stop putting off? Who are you going to show up for today? Subscribe if you want to hear more stories from veterans who fought their way back from the edge. We're all still fighting, but we're not alone. The clock is ticking for all of us. What are you going to do with your time?